Man, I'm excited for our next speaker, Dave. This guy. All right, let's talk about Gerry for a second. I've known him for years, and year over year, he continues to impress me on the way he approaches the market. He's in a competitive market. It's one that's fraught with challenges, but year over year, this guy stands out and continues to knock it out of the park. He is very customer centric. He does amazing things with ease. Please welcome to the stage my good friend Gerry. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey,
Thank
Jerry.
you. Glad to be here. Oh, and I did like the comment from Steve Olson a little while ago that everybody wants to be Ryan Taylor. That's why
Yeah,
they
that's
haven't changed their name.
he's been
Why
wrong about
wouldn't
other
they?
things too. So, I love it. I love it. So let's talk about your approach to the marketplace for a second. What are you doing to attract customers? Talk to us a little bit about your methodologies, how you're standing out.
So there's a little bit of a story to it. It goes back a few years. A few years back, we had some DRPs. We got on programs to kind of level out the workflow.
Hmm.
And our thought process was as we worked on the DRP programs, we'd also work on certifications at the same time. And after a while, it kind of became a thing where we really wanted to go down the certification road instead.
Mm.
And our goal was to grow the business enough that we had constantly had some flow. So it was really about trying to wow our customer. I know Greg pretty well, Lobsinger, and a lot of the things he said were the same thing we do. We really concentrate on our customer experience, try to wow them all the time. Guys like Greg have really set the bar for that. So, we try to follow that path, and really we want to be the high-end steakhouse in a in an area that has quite a few fast food restaurants, right? Fast food's great if you really just need something quick, but
Yeah.
you're not going to take your significant other there for typically for anniversary or something like that, right?
So you got the steakhouse of body shops, huh?
Well, that's our goal. That's what we've been working on for years. So we got to a point where we felt like we'd used up the DRP model. We were getting a lot of referrals, not only
Hmm.
from the DRP, but we were trying to wow those customers so that they would tell all their aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, and so on all about us. Um, and once we got to a point where we felt comfortable with that, we parted ways with our DRPs.
Yeah.
And those were some scary times, right? You're always concerned, is this going to work? And we had a great customer base. We have a phenomenal team that kept going and really worked on developing relationships with our customers. And now it's paid off in the long run. We're up 22% over last year with no
Wow.
DRPs. We haven't had DRPs in 5 or 6 years. We've been growing. We're at 100% OEM parts. So there's a lot of things that we really try to set the bar on in our area.
Well, Ryan, speaking of that, people say that if you have DRPs, your capture rate's going to be naturally higher, right? Because they're sending you the work. Ryan told me that yours was like 35, your capture rate is like 35% higher than the other shops around you without any DRPs. What's your secret sauce?
So if someone walks in our door, we spend the time with them, right? We set up our appointments for our estimates and really try to
Yeah.
spend time with our customer and sell them on the whys. Why certification is important, why OEM parts are important, what we do differently. When they receive a street written estimate for us, a curbside estimate from us, it's going to be pretty thorough. As we know, we can't have everything on there, but it's going to have all the required OEM inspections,
Yeah.
whether
So do
that's
you
taking
allow
out.
walk-ins or is it by appointment only?
We do take a very few walk-ins, but we'll typically utilize something like BodyShop. We utilize BodyShop Booster a lot, and we're on the edge of rural community and suburbia. That's kind of where we're located, and so
Hmm.
we draw customers from quite a ways away. That's why we use Booster on a lot of things, but we really try to have a thorough conversation with the customer each and every time. Spend half hour, 45 minutes really drilling down into what we're going to be doing with their car. We send them videos on our entire process. We've got different YouTube videos and things like that so that their understanding of everything that's going to take place from the time they get the estimate written all the way through until after they pick the vehicle up and we call them and check on them.
I mean, if they're serious about getting their car repaired, there's no way they're going somewhere else after that experience.
That's the goal, right? We know we're not going to be having vehicles referred to us by insurers, right? We're not a program shop. So we have to do that for ourselves. We have to sell why we're the top rated shop in our region.
Congratulations. That's inspiring.
Thank you.
It's amazing as we watch the market shift, as we see in a lot of areas, customer pay is continuing to go up. The buying behavior of customers is changing. The behavior of insurance companies is changing. I think you're absolutely nailed it, and I want to drill down on this. Educating your customer is going to be the difference maker. And so, how long are you taking to educate a customer? Give us a little bit more of a framework that these folks that are watching this can kind of think about. That it's, a lot of us are just so pressed for time. It feels like we don't have the time to educate a customer. How do you find the time? And then, what are some key takeaways that these shops can go home with around educating a customer?
So there's quite a few things that go into that, right? To be able to take the time, you've got to be able to manage how many vehicles you do, right? We're not in a scenario where we're just trying to push a whole bunch of them through. Our severity is pretty high. Our severity is pretty high because we're going to do every single aspect of the OEM inspections. So we say, for example, we get a Subaru in there. We know we're going to be doing a lot of disassembly, taking columns out, measuring columns, steering racks, all those types of things. We explain the whys to the customer that we have to do that. That they bought a 5-star safety rated vehicle, that they're going to want a 5-star safety rated vehicle when they pick it back up. Right. Mm-hmm. It's been involved in an accident. We don't know what happened. The OE doesn't know what happened. So we have all these things we have to do. And they may have gotten an estimate down the road that has none of those on it. We will literally print out the OEM information, hand it to the customer, highlight things, sit there in our waiting room with the customer, walk through everything, whether it be on the phone in a body shop booster type scenario, or that customer is physically in front of us. The great part about that is our severity is up. All of those OEM requirements, a lot of that's mechanical time. We have a much better gross profit. I can compensate our staff better. Greg alluded to that earlier, compensating your staff better. We don't have to force as many cars through. Back in the day, we might have to do 180, 200 cars a month. Now we're doing 100, 110 cars a month, making a lot more money.
I love it.
It's, being able to do the right thing by the customer and so on. So there's a lot of steps to it in a short time frame. It's hard to put it all together, but that's kind of the gist of it, And then all the way through the process, that customer is literally being touched via phone, text, or some sort of communication super consistently, all the way through, so that they know everything. And obviously, if we run out of 100% OEM parts, we see a lot of back orders and delays trying to do that, right?
Right.
If we get to a point where something's too far delayed, we'll give the customer the option. If it's simply a cosmetic part, we'll give that customer the option, lay it all out for them, let them be a part of the decision-making process, rather than just forcing something on them to get a car out the door.
Yeah. So your dedication to an upfront accurate appraisal, that probably helps you discover back ordered parts, so you don't have as much work in process sitting around, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Derek on our parts team, he's phenomenal. He literally will look at every single order a week before, everything we've got going on scheduled, checking on parts. We have something we find out that's back ordered. Rivian doors right now are back ordered. That's a big one. And unfortunately, we have to put that client off. They're better off staying in their car and not using up their rental if it's possible, until we get that door in.
Man, real quick, just in kind of closing here, what do you see as some of the big opportunities in 2025? What are you looking to?
For us, it's to continue down this path of really focusing in on wowing our customers every single day. We make mistakes, obviously. We want to eliminate that as much as possible. Training all of our staff. A lot of times we think about training our ATECs or our painter or somebody along those lines, but it's got to start at the front, right from your CSRs all the way through all your estimators. Everybody's got to go through training. I think some of the best trainings are when they leave the facility, go outside where they are just focused on a program for 2, 3, 4 days. They're not in the shop and distracted by their normal workflow day. So I think the training is huge.
I agree wholeheartedly. My man, thank you so much for joining us. We
Got
could
it.
listen to you all day long. This is amazing.
Thanks,
So.
buddy. Thanks for
So,
having us.
Gerry,